But you can never walk alone on your way to being free. We're only human. We're only human, yeah. But you can never walk alone on your way to being free. We're only human, yeah. We're only human, yeah. We're only human, yeah. But you can never walk alone.
But you can never walk alone on your way to being free.
We're only human, yeah. But you can never walk alone on your way to being free. We're only human. We're only human, yeah. But you can never walk alone on your way to being free.
Oh, that's an 8.
Oh, it's not 10.
Do you have an 8?
Can't be an 8.
Oh, dude, does anybody have a Scooter Swap Shop CNC keychain?
I do.
That's got an 8 on it.
Oh, badass.
It does.
That's a 10.
No.
What you got in your hand isn't a 10.
Well, it should be. I know. No, the nut is an 8.
The nut's a 10. Or this is a 12.
Okay, that's what's going on then. my wrench has a.
It's got a 10.
Well, I feel like I have to get a picture. Like this is what you use on the website.
Right?
Like it's actually working.
Fucking it's hot. Fucking burning my fingers. Yeah, it's all for you, Joe.
I definitely have a lot faster bike with no LEDs if I was going to run from the police. It probably wouldn't be one of these. It wouldn't be on a scooter, no.
Whoa. Alright, so we got on the dyno. It's really fast, it's really strong, it's really rich at this point. But I'd like to personally thank Patrick, who's holding the camera. Rotate the camera. Patrick. Camera. It's Patrick. He did a lot of this work, helped our team here fill in when we got busy. Did an awesome job. So okay, let's go. So the first thing we did, or I had Patrick do, was take the seat cushion off here. This is going to give the guy a little bit more grip. That way he'll be able to hang on a little bit longer before he flies off the back of the bike. And it brings the center of gravity down a little bit. One thing we're going to do is send the customer off with some pegs, but depending on where his legs are, where his rider's going to be, don't really know where to position him yet, so we're just going to send him off with those guys. But Patrick got some Polini grips on here. Got some nice Polini Evo grips for him. Everything's all sealed up on the front. These are actually these guys are two billet mounts I made years ago, probably 5 years ago, from DOZX I did, and used these on the radiator. So it's pretty cool. It's something I've had around for about 5-6 years using my personal bike. The leg height, he can kind of adjust that later, bring it down more if he wants. But everything's pretty solid, pretty good to go. The dynos, not too thrilled with this. I don't know if we need to probably strap it down a little bit more, mess with tire pressure, learn where the best tire pressure is for this tire, because come down here, you guys can see it's pretty low and it's squished down, but you can see this edge right here. This thing is it's getting flat, so we're getting all the contact here, but it's just getting spun completely on the dyno. And this is probably from maybe a 10-15 mile an hour roll, just because I don't have the clutch tuned yet. So you let the clutch engage and then stab it. Those were about half throttle pulls, just because the jetting's really far off. It's really, really rich. The timing should be pretty close, but my goal is to worry about the CVT later, get the jetting really close so we can just roll into it, hammer it down, get the jetting where we want it to be, and then work on getting it from a dig. But clearly there's an issue here. I need to strap it down a little bit more. We've got straps on it, but we're going to come back next week and try to dial it in a little bit better. Other than that, that's pretty much it. I'm going to contact the customer. He talked about a wheelie bar. Patrick and I talked about a few different ideas on a wheelie bar. Probably come off of here on the side, and then two from the top, come to the back to a couple wheels. But I'm gonna leave that up to him, because in theory, once we get a jet and get the CVT tuned, it's ready to ship. But if you want to wheelie bar, it's probably gonna definitely take a little bit more time. And we got tube bender, got a TIG welder, we got everything to do it. Just want to spend the time or not. Patrick would like to show you his super sweet switches here. You got your ignition and your pump. I told him that, what did we say the name for this switch should be? Yeah, like the kill
mode.
death mode. Yeah, oh yeah. And so the joke about this was, the guy said I should make a little plaque that said death machine. But then I said I wanted to put 4 little holes on it and give it to him for his casket when he kills himself on this thing. So hopefully he doesn't. But yeah, I mean, there's guys in he's in Sweden. The other guy that makes that has a very similar setup on this. He's got Lectrons, and he put down 75 wheel horse. Every dyno is going to be a little bit different, but I would expect 55 to 75, somewhere in there. I've never done something this big before. My other ones probably should be 38 to 40 as it sits right now with the 140. So this should be in the 60s, probably, is what I would guess.
And like when the dyno kind of gave us a reading, we had like
64-ish, yeah. But it's yeah, we had some issue with saying max speed. It was saying max speed, so there's definitely some interference with the dyno or something going on. So we'll have to dial that in. So also on these pipes, really cool. So Jolly Moto makes these pipes, and we actually have these little spacers, these individually machined spacers that are all written out with specs. And you can actually put those spacers, you pull these silencers out and stack these spacers in here, and that lets you change your power band. Because half throttle, we were hitting 13.5, that 13,500 just instantly right off the bat. So it makes sense that this thing's just spinning on the dyno. So I'm guessing it's going to be somewhere in the realm of 14,500, 15,000, somewhere in there. Big shout out to these guys right here, Cateno Miano. I'm sorry if I butchered your verbiage. Those are the guys that did my 140. As far as they build the center components, they do the pipes and everything too. Killer company, Italy. Really good response. You have to Google Translate everything from top to bottom, but this is their specialty, are these twins, and I can't say enough about their customer service. And Joe Daniels, Man vs. Scooters, who does all of our porting. I imagine he probably has 30 hours into these cases and into these cylinders. So if you guys want his information, I can always give it to you, but he does awesome work. Patrick does awesome work. Thank you, Patrick. Everything he does is really good. The wiring's real cleaned up. There's a thumbs up. Let's go around this side. I don't think there's anything else. Really, we went over the fuel system. You guys can kind of see everything going on. Lightweight battery. This is our kind of, we're just going in different areas trying to see where we can get the cleanest signal for spark. This bike drinks this whole entire tank dry again. It's off. Maybe 3 or 4 runs, it's completely empty. So this thing, and again, these are 38s. It's 38 PWKs, and they're Banshee intakes. Yeah, radiator is all dialed in. I mean, the bike is pretty much there. So, can we give me the camera and I can ask you some questions about it, Patrick?
Sure.
All right. Patrick, how's your experience?
It was good. I don't know. It was fun. I really like building things and doing this stuff, especially stuff that's a little bit out of my realm in a sense. Things that I haven't necessarily worked on, but I have mechanical knowledge, so Brandon just kind of like walked me through, do this, and I'm like, okay, cool, got it. It was running. We had a small little wiring issue, but it was nothing that like we didn't understand, and got it fixed. Wiring harness is pretty easy on this.
Oh yeah, there's not a lot to it.
But it's pretty cool to be able to help you guys be a part of it. It's pretty gnarly. It's really, really gnarly.
You think there's any other scooters in the United States that hold a candle to this that you've seen?
No. And I've been all over the country. I haven't been completely to the East Coast, but there's nothing like, bring street bikes. This thing, if you find this thing in Florida, you don't want to race it, man. You don't.
Okay, race ready. Patrick is saying on the grounds is there's 2 individual coil packs, and providing ground is what kills them a little bit. But basically the 2 wires coming out of the ignition, we just teed them together and then went up to one switch and back. Well, there are 2 feeds that come off of the ignition systems, and if you bring them together, it automatically kills the motor. But it only kills the motor while it's running.
Yep.
No. It won't let you start it. Once it's running, it doesn't kill it.
Exactly.
It's really weird.
So you flip the switch and then it
Yeah.
kills it.
Yeah. So, so we'll work on tuning this a little bit, but Patrick did a killer job. I'm really glad this is done because this was a massive weight on my shoulders, and I'm really glad that the person who purchased it is really patient, because with COVID and everything that came, this thing was probably a good solid 2.5 months behind schedule. The motor was already ready to go, but the frame, the powder coating, just everything. It was, I mean, how many
custom front end?
How many hours do you think? I probably have into the motor alone. I probably have 40 hours into just 40 to 50 hours into just the motor.
I'd say I have easily that into assembly and
40.
Pretty close to that, yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe more. I don't know.
Right.
Give or take.
Yeah, probably 100 some odd hours probably into the build. So and so to give you guys an idea, this whole entire bike, as you see it, is about 10 to 11 grand, and that may seem like a lot, but the cost on just building a motor, not the machine work, not the porting, none of the extra fabrication. This back here, this piece, this Echelon torsion arm was $180 to machine, just hardened steel. So all the stuff just adds up. Just the cost on this motor, we're probably to break even, honestly, when it comes down to it, because this motor, I think I'm into that motor. My cost is about $8,500. So then the rest of the bike, the wheels, the brakes, everything, it's probably break even. But at the end of the day, it's about making something really cool.
So the next one's going to be like 15 to 16 grand.
Yeah, I was thinking, you know what's funny? If you could fit more pickups, you could just keep stacking them and stacking them. But I'm like, what?
So let's make a triple.
Yeah, no, you could.
Let's do it.
You could, but it's like, what's the point at this point?
Could be any of you guys who wants a triple. Let us know.
Yeah. All right. Well, next video probably will be after we get the close to the final number. Maybe have a wheelie bar if he decides to want to do that, and kind of getting it packed up and ready to go. So thanks for watching.
Running on the streets?
Yeah. Everybody's like, "You're gonna race this thing, bro?" And I'm like, "What? Who's gonna race?" Like,
no, just maybe a couple passes.
I'll definitely do some runs on the street, but I don't really want to ride it that much, to be honest. Plus, it's somebody else's bike, and if I don't want to sell them a bike that's been ran at the same time. So we're gonna get it dyno tuned, we're going to get it safe, we're going to get it running good. At the end of the day, this is a race bike, and it's just built for racing. So once we get it good and confidence, what's cool is this thing first kick, it fires up. Pretty happy with it. Let's get tuning it and put the wheelie bar on. Hey, here's your uphill chance here.
No.
Oh, I thought you wanted to race uphill.
I said I'm faster uphill, but I don't want to race.
That doesn't make any sense.
Okay, it doesn't have to make sense.
So you're saying you don't want to race me?
Yep, I'm saying your bike's probably faster.
Oh, so you're admitting the truth on camera. Oh, what?
Yeah, because I just saw you guys zip by. That was probably like the last one. It looked like this, but it was like had some like rope lights that were like neon.
No, I've got a shop in Southeast Portland and a scooter shop, so we came from there. And I just live down here in Holcomb, so we were just having a ride tonight. So
Nice.
definitely not running from police.
Well, that was the thing. I was like, holy smokes, dude, this guy's on a moped. And
No.
I chased him all the way from Highway 212 on the bike path all the way down to Gladstone, the Harley Davidson place. Yeah.
That's awesome.
It was, yeah, I
Well,
was like,
not
holy.
awesome, but you know, that's just.
Well,
kinda
no, it
crazy.
was like, how is this guy?
Yeah.
He almost crashed a couple times, but
Was he wearing a helmet and stuff, or like?
he was wearing a helmet,
Yeah.
but I mean, that's why I just came and saw you guys in the road. And I was like,
No, yeah, we
What
just.
are they doing?
Yeah,
yeah,
no.
yeah.
I was like, man, is that a rat? I saw a cat. I'm like, man, that's somebody's cat.
I
So
know.
I definitely have a lot faster bike with no LEDs if I was gonna run from the police. It probably wouldn't be one
On
of
a
these.
scooter.
It wouldn't be on a scooter, no.
Believe it or not, people love stealing mopeds and motorcycles.
Yeah, and it's been a lot lately
In
too.
the scooter shop, he sees all that stuff.
Yeah, they come in all the time like, hey, yeah, there was one on the Springwater corridor that same thing, it got stolen and then they found it on the corridor and
Cool. Well, yeah. Thanks for moving that, guys.
Yeah.
Appreciate
Yeah.
it. But yeah, like I said, that's why I came up and stopped you guys real quick just to make
It's
sure.
all
But
good.
you guys didn't run, so it's like, well, these aren't the guys.
no, I mean the guys that are gonna run aren't gonna be the guys that are gonna pull over for a cat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not really.
And you're wearing flip flops, dude. That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm not trying to run.
Cool.
No.
Well, you guys have a good night. Enjoy the ride.
All right,
The
man.
rest of it.
Well, we got
Thanks.
lots of
Yeah. All right, guys.
That's right.
See ya.